Last question. Doug Bratman, 5398. This question was, how should the widow's penalty change a married couple's Roth conversion and tax plan? And I think this was in response to a video of mine where I tried to give a balanced view, but maybe tilted towards avoiding Roth conversions more than doing. I've tried my best to give a balanced view. I think just really quickly, broadly speaking, Roth conversions are used as a manipulative tool by many financial advisors to facilitate an investments under management relationship, which investments under management relationships are totally fine in my opinion, but using fear to facilitate those is, in my opinion, unethical. And therefore, I think we should be more thoughtful about Roth conversions because they're applied broadly in a way that maybe they shouldn't be. Like, there definitely is a case for them, but it's probably not universal. And my vision of this is like, I owned a CrossFit gym many years ago. It's like, when you're doing CrossFit, you think CrossFit should be for everybody. Once you get out of CrossFit, you're like, wait, maybe CrossFit can hurt some people. There's probably a good amount of people who CrossFit's good for. There's probably a lot of people who it's not. It's really about finding who it's good for and doing that for them. But the question here is, how should the widow's penalty change a married couple's Roth conversion and tax plan? Actually, that's my synthesis of the question, let's say, to put words into Doug Bratman 5398's mouth. So forgive me for that. The widow's penalty is something real and worth paying attention to. It is modelable, meaning you can go in and through a combination of financial planning software, spreadsheet, and actuarial tables, get some sense of what the cost of the widow's penalty will be. It's something like husband is this age, wife is this age. Women tend to live X amount longer, and this age gap happens. So there is expected to be some probability of this many years of the wife being a widow, and therefore being in these single filer brackets. And then we can superimpose above that the pre-tax balance that would be expected to be had at that age. Then the RMD tables are available, and you can do a calculation that shows what the expected future required minimum distribution would be, and then therefore what the tax owed on that would be. And the real calculation here is not just the total tax owed, it's the additional tax owed over what would have been owed if you were, over what you would need if you were to just withdraw money for spending. If an RMD forces out money you would use for spending anyways, it's probably not a major issue because you would have withdrawn that money anyways. Now you're just being forced by the government. Yes, nobody likes being forced, but you would have probably chosen to withdraw at least that amount anyways. It's really how much more was forced to be withdrawn, specifically the tax on that additional withdrawal. Now, you have to check if that's material. We have to check if it's the right bracket. We have to have probably the right amount of pre-tax balance for it to be worthwhile. So it's got to have a lot of variables that have to come to fruition. And it does, oftentimes, it can happen. Typically, and I've given some numbers in videos that you guys can see, but my estimates, usually it requires a pre-tax balance that's reasonably high. It's definitely not the majority of retirees. It's over $1 million in pre-tax balance in most cases, is my opinion. This is not advice. This is just my opinion. So I don't think you should take that and do anything with it. But what you could take from this and just think through is, one, it's not a no-brainer to do Roth conversions because you have a discrepancy in spousal age, but it is a no-brainer to do the evaluation. So hopefully that makes sense. Like, if you have an age gap that is known, I would definitely do the evaluation. I would do the evaluation in a rigorous manner, though. I wouldn't just call someone and say, hey, should I do Roth conversions? I mean, that's just like an open door to invite the coyote into the hen house. I think we need some rigor behind this. There has to be some proof that substantiates it, because it is not just net better in a vacuum. The Roth conversions are, in my opinion, an investment. And every investment has a probability of going right and a probability of going wrong. There is no such thing as a guaranteed investment. It would not be a guarantee, or it would not be an investment if it was guaranteed, right? That's like just by virtue of the definition. And the other obvious component there is the return gets lower and lower and lower, the higher the probability of the guarantee or the outcome, right? So if Roth conversions were a guarantee to happen, they would be very not lucrative. That's just like the nature of the relationship between risk and reward. The fact that they are lucrative means that there is some high or reasonable probability that it won't work out. And we have to accept and understand that. I think that's probably the most often the most overlooked element of the Roth conversion or Roth contribution or Roth overall discussion, which is we just need to accept the fact that it is a trade-off. So not knowing, Doug, your specific situation, and it's maybe entirely appropriate in your situation, and situations like yours where you say your dad died at 82 and your mom is 90, this happen all the time. It's totally worth considering. My case would be that a good evaluation would surface whether it was a high probability investment to make. And it probably might have shown to be in your guys' case. I don't know what the difference between ages between the spouses were, what the pre-tax balance was, but it's definitely worth evaluating if you have a spousal age gap, specifically older husband, younger wife. So with that said, thank you for your question, Doug Bratman, 5398. Real quick, let me show you the exact 3-pillar comprehensive retirement roadmap that takes retirees from uncertainty to peace of mind that less than 1% of retirees actually have in place. Now, I've built hundreds of these for retirees, and I can say with a high degree of confidence that these are the 3 pillars every retiree needs to have in place in order to have full confidence that they're not missing anything in their retirement plan. And I broke each of these down by the specific questions. You can see them here that each needs to be answered and the best way to answer them. Now, we've done this across pre-retirees, recent retirees, married couples, single retirees, $1 million portfolios, $10 million portfolios, all the above, and it works. And it's my gift to you today. It's absolutely free. It's in the first link in the description below this video. It's going to say free comprehensive retirement roadmap training. Just click the link, enter your info, and you'll get instant access all for free.